that being said, because we haven't done the daily emails, those that have questions, obviously they email V or they email me, and that's fine. There's certain people that text back and forth. There's some emails that I expect every day, which is fine. I love it. Everyone loves it. But in terms of having the full outreach to the full audience, that has not happened in over 5 weeks. The point being, when that has not happened, to still see an audience that is, by all intents and purposes, as large as it's always been, is special. So thank you everyone for attending. And like always, there's going to be like 90% that don't come on for 10 minutes because they just like being late. And to them, I say, watch the YouTube, right? Okay. So where do we start? So much. Okay. So we will officially be launching this Saturday. Let's start there, right? Super, super cool. Salesforce is now testing the emails that we have invented together. By all accounts, the tests are going quite well. Friday will be our final walkthrough, in which case we're going to craft our email, our initial outreach email that will have the forms inside of them. Now, everyone knows about the forms. It'll be the list your business form first. And like we've always said, we believe everybody owns their own business, whether you want to sell your labor to an employer or whether you want to take the risk of applying your talents as a service or production or whatnot. There is something that you do in transaction for compensation, whether, again, an employee or an owner, right? That being said, we want to identify that and let it be known that everyone is their own business. Therefore, everyone should list their own business, whether they're the owner of Lou's Shoe Shop or they're representative of Verizon, right? If you're a representative of Verizon, that's fine. If you own the store yourself or your commission works through networking, whatever the case may be, you're important and you own your own business, right? So that will be out this Saturday. In fact, every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is going to be the schedule of our email. Everyone will receive an email at that exact time because it will be scheduled probably from the day before, being Friday. That email is going to be quite special in the sense that there is no more differences in emails, right? Like investors don't get this email and then coin holders get this email and Rhino Wealth people get this email and the ecosystem gets this email and RHINOstreet. No, everyone gets the same email, which means whether you're someone that just joined us today or whether you're someone that started investing in Rhino 4 or 5 years ago, you're going to be privy to the same exact information. Now, when we say same exact information, that kind of sounds like that leaves room for information they're not privy to. No. The point being, every part of Rhino is going to be shared with everyone in Rhino every single week. And again, there's a method to the madness, right? From day one, we've always made this the most open platform. We've always allowed every participant to actually have their fingerprints on the platform. And it was because we believed that if we were ever going to touch the entire globe has to touch us. Sounds like a bumper sticker, right? The point being, in allowing anyone to feel empowered or allowing anyone to feel confident or have a sense of ownership of Rhino to go ahead and make the stretch, to go ahead and stretch out their neck to invite or welcome someone else, they must feel like they're a part of it and that they know what's going on. So for instance, if my friend owned a pizza shop and I am there with him every day and I hear him complaining about how expensive the San Marzano tomatoes are and he refuses to get regular tomatoes, he has to have them from Italy, and the super duper extra virgin olive oil from another place in Italy where his grandparents came from, and he knows the people that have been doing this olive oil forever. I know for a fact that pizza place is quite good. Now, how do I know that? Because I know the owner of it. I'm privy to all of the known information behind the scenes that are not marketed on a menu, right? The menu says like margarita pizza. It doesn't say I've been buying this olive oil from the Coppola family since, you get the point. Therefore, I can feel quite confident in recommending anyone to that pizza place because I know they're going to have a good experience because I know the DNA of that pizza place. In having Rhino become something that's far larger than, I guess, what any normal business ever has been, and allowing Rhino, which is a search engine, RHINOstreet, to have the requisite amount of users and the requisite amount of search results, it's implicit in our strategy that everyone has to have an opportunity to understand who Rhino is and to be invited to it. Now you might say, well, Anthony, Google's never done that. So like, how did they do it? Well, they're a little different, right? Google and all the other search engines, because they're global search engines, they don't really care about any one person. They never did. In fact, if any one person says anything, they say, okay, well, the heck with you. Because they go ahead and scour the entire internet and scrape the entire internet and allow every single person to be a search result. They do not allow anyone the choice whether they want to be a search result or not. And why should they? It's fine. There is no alternative. So for anyone to be found, they need to be on a search engine. To be on a search engine, you have to be friendly with the ones that exist. So when the ones that exist say, hey, listen, you have no alternative, we're going to put all of you on our search engine. And if any of you don't like it, go kick rocks and be somewhere without a search engine. They can kind of do what they want. Now imagine a search engine where all the search results were actual opt-ins, right? Each one said, hey, I want to be on that search engine. Well, the behavior of that person is quite different in terms of their loyalty or in terms of the work that they put into that search engine, right? So say Lou's Shoes is like, hey, I want to be on RHINOstreet, and I know the only people that can find me are the 20 miles around me because it's a localized search engine. What is Lou going to do next? Sorry, I'm out of breath today. Lou's going to say, you know what? Let me do my part. Let me welcome people to the platform. Let me invite people to the platform. But how am I going to do that if I know nothing about the platform? Oh, wait, I do know everything about the platform because I've been there since the beginning of the platform. And I get an up-to-date the week that was, the week that's going to be every single week. Therefore, Lou is now empowered with the information he needs and the platform and the ability and capability to use it. Now, when Lou uses that, the assumption is that Lou is like everyone else. Everyone's unique, but we're all the same, right? Like we all breathe air, we all eat some food. So if Lou feels like that's a good idea, well, then maybe Ted feels like it, or maybe Jennifer feels like it, maybe Stephanie feels like it. When they go ahead and bring somebody on, well, now that person maybe feels like it. Maybe that person now feels like it. Now we're asking Jennifer again, hey, listen, you brought on Ted, can you bring on someone else? And it grows and grows and grows and grows until you have a search engine that has an entire amount of search results and users, all because they want to be there. When you have everyone in one place because they want to be there, guess what they say to the other company that said they had no alternative? They say, I don't want to curse, go kick rocks, we're good here, right? Now, the added benefit to Rhino is that we have a whole a whole economy attached to this. And I don't want to get too much into that. Everyone knows what it is, but this call is more about the updates, right? So Saturday is that first email that gets launched out, which means next Wednesday when we talk, we're going to have a lot of numbers to report, right? We're going to have a lot of, hey, this is what was good. This is what was bad. Well, nothing's ever bad, right? This is what could be done better. This is what we've learned. This is the number of search results we have. This is the amount of people that now opted in. Because presumably we'll see new opt-ins every single day because the emails live forever. They go, so we email you and you go ahead and list your business. You immediately get another email saying, hey, would you like to suggest someone else? That stays in your email box until you presumably delete it. But if you go ahead and recommend someone else, we're then sending you another email thanking you for it and saying, hey, please, 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 one more. All while that the person that you recommend is getting the email saying you just recommended them, would they like to list their business? Once they list their business, they're getting the next email. Hey, thank you, your business is listed. Go search yourself. Would you like to add someone else like someone did for you? And blah, 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 blah. In a really weird, like I don't want to say it out loud, but I think we're able to cover the entire globe in a week. I really do. I mean, I think at some point Salesforce is gonna be like, what's going on over there? Like you have 1 billion leads. You started with like 1 million, had that happen. I think search engines start taking note, like, how do you have 1 billion opt-ins? So I think a lot of good things are gonna happen. Now, the coin system, RHINObucks, I spoke to our lead dev on that project. I asked him, scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable does he feel that we can test it by Friday? He says, I'm working all day to get it to a 10, but currently I feel like a 6, which is fine because they don't need to launch the same point. So out of breath today. I really think the stress, and I don't want to say stress as in like an unwelcomed Anthony, like doesn't know what to do, but this is a lot, right? Every second of every day is important. In fact, I have to schedule going to the bathroom, and that's not a lie. And it's really difficult to schedule going to the bathroom because what if you don't have to go at that moment, right? Then you just sit there with it. And I'm like 10 pounds heavier because I've been doing that. The point is, it does make you short of breath. And maybe that's why I'm standing up. Anyway, so the payment system does not need to be launched with Rhino, but obviously in the emails, we're going to speak to it to go ahead and update on it. Once that's updated, once the payment system is ready, and then we offer everyone to opt in. Once everyone opts in, you're now talking about 1 to 5% of everyone's recurring transactions going into each one of those individuals' personal Rhino accounts, which means the demand for the coin constantly moves higher. The supply never goes higher, which means the coin value always goes up. Do you know what it's going to look like when the whole world starts seeing a coin that only goes up? It's going to be preposterous. And it's going to be fun. Like, I'm really excited about it. You know what I'm most excited about? I think to myself and say, we're going to have such a scale. At what point does someone say, you can't do this, right? Like, you somehow unionize the entire population of the globe, made a global currency, and created a search engine for everyone in their own town that actually identifies their main streets over anyone else. Like, I don't know how you just did this. Every government, every company's kind of pissed off right now. We need to figure this out. So who knows? Maybe this comes to a point where like the globe wants to negotiate with us, which is fine. If we have 99% of the population, we could finally say to them, hey, remember us, the people that you thought were worthless, the 99% that you told to go kick rocks all the time, that you thought would never actually be able to gather and look at you and say, hey guys, guess what? We have 99% of the population. Well, we're here. So hi. So that was cool. So that's happening. Oh, the coolest thing. So as you guys know, let me take that back. As you guys know, that sounds weird. As we know, right? Like, it's a team. As we know, we're a very, very strong presence on Twitter. In fact, we're now close to 5,000 followers, which might not sound like a lot, and 5,000, many people have over 5,000. Well, 3 weeks ago, we had 200, right? So all things in context. I can promise you our growth rate's bigger than anyone else's, right? So I believe at the moment we have like 4,800. Now, they're all teachers. They all love us. We've been donating to 5 teachers a day for 29 straight days. So that's 145 different teachers. The total cash outlay is a scotch. I don't know if anyone remembers that word. It was from a movie way back when. A scotch under 18,000. So we've come out of pocket and donated a little bit less than 18,000 to random teachers we're never going to meet. Well, we would like to meet them, but they're strangers to us. Okay. The point has always been that not only are we identifying teachers as a demo that is really great. Like, I love teachers. I think they get a really, really unfair proposition. And I think the people that are in charge of their income have weaponized their love for children because teachers are always going to go ahead and be teachers because they care about the children, not the money. That being said, I think that's completely unfair. I think teachers are the absolute most superheroes that we know. That being said, we've identified them for a multitude of reasons. That is the number one reason. I do not think it's unfair to say, I love you and I need you, right? I think that's how people get married. I love teachers. We also need teachers. I think that's okay to say. Because there is not another group of people that have bigger hearts, that are collectively have a higher IQ, collectively have a better ability to teach others, and have a really, really strong touch point with their own community than teachers. I think that's fair. Anyway, but also going down this path, it was a path of the unknown. We know that we're doing good. We know that we're going to continue doing good, but we also believe that at some point, something really good is going to happen. Now we can't, hey guys, look at us, look at us, look at us, because you never do anything for yourself, right? If you're going to do true charity, you do it humbly. You do it for the benefit of the other. You don't ask to be seen, but you want to be seen. And that's kind of the line in which you know if someone is good or bad, right? If I see someone doing charity and they wear a shirt every day that says I'm giving charity, or hey, well, you know what I did yesterday, I'm not really interested in that person. But if you see someone that doesn't even talk about it, unless they are talking about it with the people they're looking to help, well, that's pretty cool. The point of all of this preamble is there is a person, a reporter, who has come across what we've done. And they're doing a huge story on the hashtag Clear the List that we're probably #1 most popular on. And they reached out to us 2 days ago and asked to do an interview, in which case I agreed to do one today at 11 a.m. Now, I don't know who this reporter is. I did a little looking. They have like 1,000 followers. Cool. Bilingual teacher. Cool. So when we started the Zoom, she was actually in her own classroom, which I thought was totally cool. It was very casual. I looked like this because this was 3 hours ago. And she just takes a little bit of background on me, how we found Clear the List, what brought us to teachers. And I gotta tell you, Rhino came out. I just was the most impassioned, well-spoken, really, really just was everything that we would want our face of our company to be. So the interview went amazing. In fact, I even apologized at one point and said, I'm so sorry for talking so much. This is just passionate to me. And during the interview, I think she even went like that. And she had a tear at one point. She smiled, her head nodded. It went really well. And that's not to be confused with like, oh, we got her. No, it was two like-minded people meeting and really, really connecting. She understood the plight that I was sharing, which ironically was the plight that she's living, right? Like I was talking as if I was a teacher, but it's only because I understood the plight of the teacher that I wanted to be a part of the solution for the teacher. And she would ask questions, well, what's your goal? How is this gonna work? And it's inextricably connected to Rhino, right? Like Rhino is the steak, everything else is the potatoes, the asparagus. We cannot be successful in solving teacher compensation or support or admiration for teachers without RHINOStreet being what it's supposed to be. But in knowing RHINOStreet is going to be what it's going to be, we have the opportunity to go ahead and find different things that are important to us and offer solutions for them so that they can parallel get there together. The point of the story, Anthony gets, I got it. The point of the story was after the interview, she said, okay, great, I'll get you the interview when it's done. I'll get you the replay and where it's posted. I was like, posted? I said to her, I go, I'm so embarrassed. I didn't really look into who you were. I just got excited that somebody wanted to help create awareness for the cause that I'm looking to champion. And she's like, you're amazing. She goes, no, I work for Voice of the Nation. She goes, it's a nonpartisan wing, a department of the United States government. She goes, I represent Latin America. She goes, I'm going to translate this whole thing into Spanish and we're going to disseminate it in Latin America. I go, Latin America is kind of big, right? Like, I didn't say it like that, but I go, are you telling me a lot of people are going to see this? She goes, oh yeah. She goes, every Latin American country, all of the different media departments is going to then disseminate this because that's the chain. Like, I get it, I make it, and I give it to them. I go, oh wow, so this is kind of a big deal. She goes, yeah. So I re-looked at her Twitter, and she has 10 Emmys for Latin American reporting. Like, she's like a really, really big deal. And what came of it, or what's really cool, and I don't know where it's going to go. Maybe we're the champions of Latin America, right? I don't know. But what's really cool about it is we're finally at the point where there are people that are watching us and that are reaching out to us, asking if they could be the one to get the exclusive interview. Now, this is all before launch. Once launch happens, that's only going to exacerbate. So what I'm currently doing is I'm going through our data, and all of those data sets, like all the emails that we have that don't have a company name, I'm going through the emails, and Joe at RHINOStreet, I obviously know where they work, right? RHINOStreet, I can put it as the company name. I have about 30,000 more to do, which means there's no way I'm going to get it done by tomorrow, but I'm really diligently working on it, which means I might have to skip a couple of bathroom visits and just kind of keep doing this. The point of the story is, in going through the data line by line, you start seeing how many people are actually watching you. I think we have over 20 different people from Wells Fargo advisors watching us. There's a big investment company that I just looked at before. 39 of their global reps are in our email list. We have, like, I think 6 different elected officials in this country. We have over 77 different countries have emails within us. So many news organizations, a lot of insurance companies, actually, which is really weird, but whatever. Allstate, Prudential, farmers, agents, market, something like that. We actually have a rep, like an executive from Tesla. I'm not gonna say who it is, right? I could say it to you, but I guess that's the line, right? Like, everyone's allowed to know everything, but I don't want to say it and then it like goes somewhere else. Like, if I could somehow have all of us in a room together, like, duh, you could all say it, because it's ours. But we have someone from Tesla that's actually looking at what we're doing. So it's exciting. We're getting there, and I'm just Saturday we're going to do the first email. So everyone that's been patiently like, okay, Anthony, like, let's go. It's not all for nothing. Oh, the last thing I want to say, the certificates, the Rhino certificates, as you guys noticed, I didn't send them. So the Rhino certificates, the software platform that we use would only let us send 250 at a time, which has been more and more cumbersome as the months go on, because right now I think we have 3,300 people that own Rhino coin, Rhino bucks. I just like the way Rhino coin sounds, but the ticker is RHINO, so Rhino. 3,300 people that own Rhino. In doing so, I have to separate the list in quantities of 250. How many times does that come out to? Like 14. Then I have to take each one of them, upload them separately, and then have it sent out. The point of the story is I've always done that, and that's fine. But because our first email is coming out this week, I'm going to include the coin number in the email. And the coin number will stay in the email until, well, actually, I guess not until, actually in perpetuity, right? I was gonna say until the app is done, because then you can look it up, but maybe everyone doesn't download the app. So your coin number will be updated weekly within the emails that you get, which starts Saturday. I'm asking that no one be too upset about that, because the reality is I could have done it. It would have taken me 2 or 3 hours, but I really felt that I would be able to share that with you and it would be okay, because those 2 or 3 hours is worth more than, I don't want to say than, obviously, we're talking about it, but it's just, it's time that I can't get back. So please, please, please don't hate me. We're going to leave it there. I think that's all the updates. I can tell you Saturday's email is going to be, so let me touch on that. I have been crafting emails for all of us for years. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good, some of them are long, some of them have incorrect spelling, some of them have poor grammar. And why I'm sharing all this is because you've all shared it with me. I know what grammar means, or what spelling means, or what length of a paragraph means, or styling, or font size, or font style, because you have shared with me, hey, Aunt, this was a great one. Hey, Aunt, this one was terrible. Hey, Aunt. And that's not a like, how dare you? Like, thank you. Because you've done that, I'm able to go ahead and have the code to make this email good, which is going to be 5 paragraphs, each paragraph having 5 sentences, main point supporting hook to the next paragraph. I think we'll do size 14 font, Courier New, and make it concise, spell check, grammar check, get to the point, exciting, leave you on the hook wanting more for the next week, right? With a call to the action at the bottom, which will be our list your business, and it will be suggest favorite business, rotating on a weekly basis. The content of the email is going to touch on last week, this week, next week, numbers, forecast. So if I can get all of that together in a very concise fashion, that every email you see is, okay, I know this format, or it allows you that, like, say you're out or you didn't read the email or something. It's like, oh, I can spend 5 minutes reading the email later because I know where the important parts are, because every email is exactly the same except different content, right? So we're going to make the email like a Big Mac. No matter where you get it or how you get it, you know what to expect. And that's going to be quite important, because when you say, hey, listen, I love Rhino, you need to get into Rhino, I want to empower you to be able to share everything about Rhino and confidently know that it's going to be true. The difficult part that a lot of people have is, oh, I got this great company, why isn't people sharing it? It's like, well, because you change everything all the time. The people that are in your ecosystem know nothing that's going to happen. Only you know what's going to happen. Yeah, but I'm doing so good. Well, yeah, great, you're doing good. Unless you can scale to more people don't care. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. You could do something as masterful as ever. In fact, you could do something so masterful no one else could do it. But if you do not share the ability for others to participate, then something by definition that can only be done by one person will never be of interest to a billion people, right? So that's where we're at. I'm gonna go. I see that our battery is low. I think I saw a comment come in. Let me just check that. Oh, Justin, so we can share the app starting Saturday? Unfortunately, no. So the app isn't, so the app as is, the last update cycle was like, I think 4 weeks ago, and I believe you're on it. The next app upgrade is going to include, actually, no, it's not. So the payment system is not going to be included in the app to first get it out. It will be included in the app as time goes on. The update that will be in the app will be messaging, chat, and obviously the searches will be updated as well, because the more that populate it, the more that get on. The goal is that the payments, we just need to get it out so that everyone can start. Oh, my computer actually shut down. Thank God I have this one. We need to get the payment system out there so people could start opting into it. Once that happens and the coin starts moving, everyone can get excited. The secondary goal of the payment system is to have it incorporated into the app, right? So to go ahead and delay putting the payment system out there because it's not fully integrated with the app yet seems a bit backwards. We need to get the payment system out, let it build some momentum, and then it creates more excitement for the app. That being said, the super duper duper version of the app, I don't believe will happen probably till like October. The super duper version, that will be the app perfect X payment system, likely by September. So in terms of managing your expectations on when you could get into the next update cycle and when you can then take that and share it with others and feel good about it. Because the version right now, it's still like beta stuff. I would say mid-September. But I would say by the end of the year, definitely, we'll have the payment system included in the app, and we'll figure out some type of holiday fun around that, right? Unfortunately, I can't see any more questions because my computer just shut down, just in case you don't believe me. Not that anyone wouldn't, but there's certain opportunities you want to, like, I remember when I was younger and dumb, I used to smoke cigarettes. And I used to work in New York City, and I used to take the subway. So you'd go to the subway and you were smoking a cigarette until you went down there, and inevitably someone always came up to you, hey man, can I bum a cigarette? And everyone always said, oh man, I only have one cigarette left. Because that wasn't acceptable. Like, I only have one, I'm not gonna give you the last one. But I remember one time I said to someone, I only have one left. And he looked at me and I was like, and there was one cigarette. He's like, all right, you didn't have to show me. I was like, yeah, but I don't like lying. Like, and I don't want people to think I am. So if I have the opportunity to kind of just show something that, yeah, why not? Well, that's what that was. I do see another question came up, but I can't see it. So let me run. If the question, you could always email me, v@RHINOStreet, or I haven't, Anthony at RHINOStreet works. I haven't incorporated the email account just yet because it's like, I'm like still like, oh my God, it's happening. But any question, v@RHINOStreet. And Anthony at RHINOStreet, if you really want. But let me go. Unfortunately, I keep saying goodbye. I need to actually say goodbye. Oh, and the computer is dead, which means I'm now going to go home, and because I have my charger at home. I've been working from home lately because my wife is at her place and our son's at school, so I have quiet. But when I do the video, I come to work. So let me get home, plug it in, and get back to work. Love everyone. Guys, we're literally almost there. Like, we just got into, oh, by the way, Voice of the Nation, I think it's called. Is that 1.7 million followers? I was like, oh. So we're getting there. So let me come over here. And of course, I wore this shirt, right? Like, duh. Love all of you. We're getting there. Bye, guys.